When is the best time to be buying Bitcoin? Right now, as we are currently consolidating in what appears to be a giant bull flag. Recently, we've seen Bitcoin get a huge breakout above this key level of $32,000. This is such an important level for Bitcoin because it was literally our support during the last bull market. And then once we hit that all-time high, it immediately flipped into resistance, and it acted as resistance 3 times, and now we're officially breaking out. Now, the weekly candle has 3 days and 11 hours left before it closes. And if we can close this weekly candle above this green box, in my opinion, this is very, very bullish, and we can expect higher price targets. Now, I want to talk about my price targets. In order to obtain these targets, we need to look at 2 things. Number one, where were people willing to buy and sell Bitcoin in the past? At what prices were most people buying and selling Bitcoin historically? We look at this to determine what is considered to be the fair value of an asset. So when we look at the past market cycle, going all the way back to the beginning of 2021 to our present day, we can see that most people bought and sold Bitcoin around $47,000. What does this mean? This means that now that we have officially flipped the bottom of this value area where the Bitcoin price is considered to be undervalued, now that we flip this thing into support and we're breaking above the key resistance, the most probable target, at least in the next few months, is going to be around that $47,000 level. However, one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they are getting into Bitcoin or really any asset is they buy after the move has already happened, right? Now, we take a look right now at the trades that we're currently in right here. Given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord, we were looking to buy a pullback, right? When Bitcoin was still trading under $30,000, we understood we were in an uptrend. We were looking for the next pullback to long Bitcoin, and that's what happened, right? We got that pullback, and boom, we came up and we hit our target, and I'm still holding a portion of the trade. Whenever we see a huge break like this, there's a few things we need to understand to avoid getting wrecked. First of all, we need to understand that it's very important to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell for notifications because we are bringing you the juiciest Bitcoin updates here on YouTube. But the second most important thing to remember is this. After we get a massive breakout and we start consolidating in a bull flag, is there a chance that we break up? Of course there is. Is there a chance that we break down? Of course there is. Right now, there's pretty much a 50-50 shot of which way this will go. And you might say to yourself, or you might say to me, Jason, the trend is up. Therefore, we look for this bull flag to break up. That is true. However, if we are coming into these markets with the purpose of making money consistently over time, instead of letting emotions take over and saying, man, Bitcoin just got a huge pump, about 19-20%, I'm going to buy right now so we can get another pump for 19-20%. We need to come to the drawing board and ask ourselves, what is going to be the highest probability trade setup that we can enter into so we can put ourselves in a position where we are mitigating risk as much as possible, and yet putting the probabilities of making that money also in our favor as much as possible. And so here's 2 things we really need to keep in mind. First of all, where is Bitcoin currently finding resistance? Well, if we go ahead and we pull a Fibonacci from the all-time high that we made in November 2021 to the low that we put in back in November 2022, we see a few things. Number one, we are coming up to the Fibonacci 382 level. Now, the second thing we need to keep in mind is if we pull our Fib now from the high we made in 2022 in March to the low we made in November 2022, we can see that we are coming up to the Fibonacci golden pocket retracement. Now, if you've been trading these markets for any length of time, you know that if we are coming up to a macro golden pocket and we reject from that 618 Fibonacci level, the probabilities are that this is not the high, right? The probabilities are that we're going to be coming a little bit higher, right? And so here's where we really need to be careful, because if we take out this high and become a little bit higher, we are coming right into macro resistance, right? Macro resistance, the 382 of the entire move from the top of the bull market to the bottom of the bear market, as well as the 0.65 Fibonacci. Now, when we take a look at our indicator here, we can see at the 4-hour time frame, the money flow is starting to come out. What does that mean? That means that if we make another high here, it's very possible that we print something that I like to call the upside down Sam Bankman-Fried bearish man boot pattern. whereas the price is getting higher into key resistance, Sam Bankman-Fried's man boobs are getting lower. Now, if we take a look at the chart, we can absolutely see the possibility of SBS boobs printing on this chart. In fact, if we just take a picture of his boobs and we superimpose this right here onto market Cipher B, right, and we kind of just stretch, you got to stretch the boobies out. Look at this. We could very easily see how that could print if we make another high. Now, we also have to keep in mind that a lot of people are getting very, very bullish right now, which means a lot of new investors, dumb money, is entering into the market, buying literally the yearly high. Okay, now I'm not saying we can't pump. All I'm saying is if you buy right now, you also have to think to yourself, where are you going to put your stop loss? Because if you take a long here, expecting the bull flag to break out, and we do something like this, right? Well, you just absolutely got wrecked. Here's something else we need to think. There have been people buying this entire time who are putting their stop losses underneath all these lows, right? They're saying, look, if we start to lose the trend line, then I am out of my trade, right? This is a perfect storm for a lot of people to get wrecked longing here, right? People longing the breakout only to get a fake out. People longing in the middle of the bull flag only for us to get that fake out. So what instead should we be looking for? Well, for me right now, I see a very, very important level on the chart, and that is this right here. All right, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put a level right at 31,800. 31,800, this is going to be very, very key. Why? Because this is now a support resistance flip, right? This was resistance. We have broken out of that resistance. And now if we come back down to retest that what used to be resistance is support, this is the area where we can look to get into our long trade, right? We need to wait for a little bit of a pullback if we want the highest probability trade setup. We can see that the daily time frame is printing a red dot, meaning we very easily could get a pullback. And if we do, what a beautiful level that we have right here. Now, if we come down to this level, this gives us a setup where we know if we start to bounce from that level, right, we know that we can put our stop loss underneath that wick, wherever we come down to. And now instead of randomly longing in the middle of a bull flag, we have essentially waited for all the early longers to get wrecked. And then we enter the trade after everybody is stopped out. Okay, this is what we really need to be waiting for. And does it mean it's guaranteed to happen? No, it does not mean that. But when it comes to trading, it's not about catching every move. It's about planning for the moves that are going to put the probabilities in your favor, right? This is how we were able to take a long in the Casper Crew VIP Discord from 24,925, right? I've actually been compounding that long along the way up. But essentially, guys, I've been long on Bitcoin since 24,925. That is literally the bottom of the move. If we go to the daily time frame, 24,925 is right here. Now, why was I looking to long 24,925? It's because it was a support resistance flip, right? We had these highs. I actually longed that level twice, once here and once here, because it was a support resistance flip. Now we take a look at the Bitcoin chart. What do we see? We see a very, very similar opportunity. By the way, guys, if you want to trade Bitcoin and altcoins, I highly recommend my favorite exchange, MEXC. This exchange has the lowest fees in the game, so you can scalp very low time frames and still be profitable even using market orders. Also, if you want to join the Casper Crew VIP Discord, where we gave the long literally from the exact bottom, where we also gave this local long on Bitcoin before the massive pump, you can go to jasoncaspertrading.com, click the link to join the VIP Discord. Also, guys, if you want to get educated, check out the trading courses we have here. These will give you the systematic, comprehensive approach to actually make money in these markets instead of gambling it away very, very quickly. Links for all that stuff, guys, in the pinned comment and the description. So for me right now, what I am waiting for is a pullback on Bitcoin for an opportunity to compound my long trades before we hit our next targets around that $40,000 level. Guys, that is it for today's video. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. May God bless everybody in the name of Jesus, Yeshua, the Messiah. Even if you are not religious, I still pray you and your family are super blessed. And I'll see everybody in the next video. Peace.